I am hesitant to apply for jobs through LinkedIn because of the expectation of a photograph. And I know that pictures can be used as a means of identifying certain demographics that can then be used for bias. And I have been told during interviews previously that I didn't match my resume, so I wasn't what they were expecting. And I wonder how to combat that because you seem a little sketchy if you don't have a picture on LinkedIn, but how do you preempt bias if you do put a picture on LinkedIn?
Okay, that's a great question. I have a lot of thoughts, so I'll just sort of hit them one by one. I do think you do need to have a picture on LinkedIn. I have had some extreme circumstances where, in particular, someone was being stalked. So they did not have a picture, and I totally understood that. And, that's a really extreme example, but I just bring it up to say there can be some examples like that where it's in their best interest to not post a picture. I've seen some people put a logo instead of a picture. That's maybe similar. I mean, that's a little better because if you don't put a picture, it's just that silhouette, which is kind of, I always joke like someone putting a plastic bag over their head and being like, "Hi, I'm Paula." So it's not really welcoming. At the same time, I understand what you're saying, that there is bias. And my answer might surprise you. My answer is that if they're going to be biased in the hiring process, they're going to be just as biased when you show up. Like you were saying, "Oh, you didn't expect you didn't look like the resume." And so you might still get that. I think that it's best to be authentic in your picture. And if they're going to pass you over because of that, you probably don't want to work there anyway. I mean, that's my honest opinion. But I do understand it. I mean, I have a colleague slash friend I've known 20 years who's gone all gray and decided she's just going to go with that. She's going to stop dyeing her hair. And she has, I know it's real. I know there have been some, that, she hasn't gotten some jobs, and it may have been because of her gray hair, but I think it's probably a better match in the end. So I would say be authentic. And you don't want to give away too much though at the same time. Like I don't have children, but if I had children, I wouldn't have them sitting on my lap, because it's like you are trying to keep professional things on LinkedIn professional. So I think just making the most professional, like a profile picture that's professional and where you look approachable, which usually means smiling or at least looking, sometimes people are like, very serious looking. And so you do want to, if you have a smile and you like your smile, sometimes people don't like their teeth, smile or at least smirk, like to look friendly. So I don't have one where someone's, hand is on your shoulder and it's obvious you've like cut them out. So it should be just you. It should be on brand. Like if you're a veterinarian, sure, hold a dog. But if you're not a veterinarian, then probably not as appropriate. Or, if somehow branding is, your dog is somehow in your branding. I have seen some entrepreneurs that do that who aren't veterinarians. But I think, so that's my advice is be yourself, be authentic, but make it look professional and look approachable. And they do say that, LinkedIn, who knows if it's true, but, they say things like you're 20 times more likely to be found if you have a picture. And there's really lots of other ways for them to find your picture too. So I don't think not putting your picture on LinkedIn is actually going to keep them from finding out what you look like. If they Google you, I have a lot of teachers that have said this because on portfolios, they don't really want to put a picture. And some employers don't want you to send the picture because they don't want to be accused of bias. They just don't even want that information there so that they can't be accused of bias. So kind of, I mean, you have the whole spectrum of employers and what they're looking for and how they handle or try to manage not letting their biases get in the way.